following program is sponsored by The Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman in downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Georgetown Media in Ely, Nevada. Ely Municipal Utilities Board meeting, March 11th, 2021.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Ely Municipal Utility Board meeting of March 11th, 2021. Please follow me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Chairman John Flaherty.
Here.
Vice Chairman Durbridge is absent today. Member Ken Ross.
Here.
Member Lilly.
Present.
Councilman Carson.
Here.
City Attorney Manueli is going to be available by Zoom. City Clerk Lee. Here. City Treasurer HR Director Trask. Here. Public Works Supervisor Craycraft.
Here.
And that's all.
Thank you. Public comment. Comments not exceeding 3 minutes of length will be accepted for the general public attendance. If any are made, there may be discussion upon those comments. No vote, decision, or action may be taken upon matters raised under this item until formally placed on the agenda. Comments during discussion items will not be accepted for the general public as per section 705 of the Nevada Open Meeting Law. Do we have any public comment? Morning, George.
Morning, Mr. Chairman. Didn't recognize me. Showed up early.
I know, it's amazing sometimes.
Yeah. Good practice, though. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, as far as I know, the utility board has yet to collect from the county golf course for the consumption of 111 million gallons or more of water. Others have been turned off, and I personally have been physically escorted out of City Hall under threat of trespass 4 times by the Sheriff's Office trying to make a payment on a billing for my residence. Once one is late 90 days, one's water is turned off and forced to move because NRS states you cannot reside in a dwelling without water. What was asked by County Commissioner Biden should not be an item of discussion until that 111 million gallons of water that they have used has been paid for. In the past, Mr. Biden, as a city councilman, failed to collect the thousands of gallons of water used by the deck pond, the thousands of gallons of water used by the trailer park that was once owned by the historical railroad, Railroad Foundation, and the failure to collect in full from foreign mercantile, full rents, and landfill buildings, as well as penalties and interest. Selective enforcement, that needs to stop. The last item I mentioned was presented to the Ely City Council in a memo dated November 9, 2006, while I was mayor. Mr. Brady has a poor track record when he sat as chairman of the railroad board, and he failed to properly collect approximately 15 years of track rental fees from S&S Shortline, which in turn cost the city $500,000 or more in legal fees. Time and again, your auditors have stated that you must show true cost of doing business. That being said, the city cannot discriminate in any federally funded or assisted utility. The county needs to pay. Why have you not shut the water off, or have you, for non-payment? Again, you cannot selectively enforce the law, and the discrimination needs to stop. Mr. Chairman, I'm not seeing what the status is of Avenue A. Is that city property, or did the city install a city utility on private property? I'd like to know. I've yet to see anything in regards to the counting of 490 linear feet of 16-inch steel pipe that came out of the Murray Street project. Mr. Chairman, I see that Keith Carson now is putting RVs in the trailer park when others cannot. I've yet to see any application for a special permit, and I'm concerned that the selective enforcement is causing some people grief. In particular, the Epicentia Trailer Park is up for sale now. That woman can't make a living because she was discriminated against. She was told she can't put RVs in there. Yet it was done for years, long before Mr. Carson got into business. That needs to stop, and she needs to be able to do business just like anybody else. Mr. Chairman, at previous meetings, I have also reported numerous RVs, possibly squatters, were setting up throughout the city. Again, how many of them were built for landfill, water, or sewer? We need accountability, Mr. Chairman, we're not getting it.
Thank you, George.
I'd like some kind of answer, sir.
Thank you. Any other public comment? No other public comment. We'll go on items discussion. Consent agenda. These items may be approved in one motion by the board. As its first action, business under for discussion, possible action items. Approve the consent agenda. Approves each of these items. Board members may review any item from the consent agenda by notifying the board chair. I have a motion to move to approve the consent agenda 3-A1 minutes of February 11, 2021. All of it. A motion?
I'll second.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Public comment? No public comment. We'll move on to old business. Board member, Robinson Nevada Mines Company RNMC representative discussion only. Update to utility board on Robinson Nevada development root pit development and water mitigation efforts within the city of Eden. I know we did have a letter from Frederick.
We do. Hello, Jennifer. I will not be able to attend tomorrow morning utility board meeting. I am by this email providing you an update on old business item P1 roof pit development and water mitigation efforts within the city of Ely. Robinson continues to mine from the roof pit complex. Here is the breakdown of freshwater dewatering effort from the south block. Number 1, about 10,713 gallons per minute is being pumped. RW7P count for 1,526 gallons per minute, which is sent to the city of Ely. 2, about 5,573 gallons per minute is going into Gleason Creek. 3, the rest is going to the mill for ore processing. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, Frederick.
Thank you, Jennifer. Any questions in regards to that?
No questions.
No questions. I have no questions for the standard report. Very good. Public comment. Any public comment on that? Very good. Moving on to new business. Councilman Carson, City Tree Board Chairman Bill Wolf. Discussion for possible action recommendation to grant authorities to landfill Leadman to release lien for clean wood chips deposits at the city landfill to the City of Eden Tree Board members for beneficial and punitive use in perpetuity. I know we have Bill here.
I am
Bill,
here.
thank you.
Bill Wolf, Chairman of the Ely Tree Board, a standing committee. So you guys get, we have companies come in town that do tree trimming, and there's a couple local companies actually, and they use a small chipper versus the great big one that used to use up at the dump to grind all the pile up there. And the chips that these local companies use, or the companies that come in and do tree trimming, it's a smaller chip and it's a lot easier to use. It works better as far as being a mulch around new plantings and that kind of stuff. And so we've asked if we could use those chips when they show up on an irregular basis for projects around the community. Right now we're looking at trying to get chips around trees that are at the golf course. In the future, we may be using them where we want to grow some trees out down there at the old dog pound. And also I've talked with the guys that run the city corrals. Chips like that make great bedding inside the corrals, and then when you haul them out, they make great compost. And so, there's a multitude of uses that those can be put to in the community rather than just taking up space in the landfill. And rather than coming each time somebody drops them off, or hoping you guys will approve the idea of saying, nah, when they're up there, just take them and use them.
Makes sense, Bill. Any concerns or questions?
No concerns.
Tom's not here. Mike, I'm assuming you kind of had a discussion with Tom. There's no issues. Okay.
And really, anything in the city, like when you guys do Taylor Park, if you want to put some around the base of the trees there, certainly that's part of the whole program.
Very good. Yeah, I think that could be beneficial both to Bill, to you, and our community, so I applaud you in your efforts. Do we have a motion?
All motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a second. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you for the coffee, too, Bill.
Eat those cookies too, for crying out loud.
Okay. Public comment. Any public comment in reference to this? No public comment. We'll move on to item number 2. Board member, City Clerk Lee, discussion for possible action, recommendation to remove past due utility fee penalties up to the amount of $1,089.03 from 60 North 4th Street, McGill, Nevada, at the request of the property owner. Steve, please.
So, on February 28th, Mr. Willis paid the total balance due for his landfill fee charges of $1,086.97, and he is requesting that the penalty be removed.
Very good. Thank you, Jennifer. This has been pretty standard procedure that we've adopted. Any discussion in reference to this particular item?
No discussion.
Ken?
All motion to approve this.
Any motion?
All second.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Public comment. No public comment. We'll move on to city department boards, board members. Jeremy?
No report.
Ken?
Nothing.
Nothing on my part. Councilman Carson?
No report.
City Public Works Supervisor Mike?
Nothing.
Nothing to add. We have a written report. Also from the city water operator, city water sewer, Leafman, and city landfill. All have provided written reports. City clerk?
And last night we received this price list from Interwest Recycling. Just want to note again, cardboard is better, it's $15 per ton, but Mike has established that if we aren't being paid $100 per ton, we're not breaking even. To pay someone to haul it in, and yeah. Thank you.
So at this point in time, we're just going to status quo. Pretty much, I mean, this doesn't sound like it justifies it.
We at least need to break even, I feel, to advocate for that again.
The only negative thing about this, I have to get a bigger dumpster. I have so much cardboard. It's ridiculous. That's a great addition for a lot of the people to generate that. So good. Hopefully in the future that these prices will improve.
Right, we're watching it.
You know, you generally think this would be the case with Amazon. My God, I print more Amazon boxes than, you know, you think there would be a need for it. But obviously, that's not the case. Very good. City attorney, I see he's not here today. Do you have any written issues or anything you want to bring up?
No.
Okay. Very good. City treasurer? Nothing? We're still solvent? That's great. City engineer, BJ?
He is in an M-Shaw class
Oh.
today until 5 p.m. So.
I see that we have Main Street started again. What confusion that creates. And I see that we have action up on Murray Street as far as a new project moving forward.
Yes.
That's good. The BJ didn't have any other things that he wanted us to report on or anything?
No, the only thing his project manager, David Miller, called about this morning is they are planning on breaking up the road on Murray Street today if they can do it with the weather, so.
Very good. Sounds great. Very good. Public comment, George.
How did you
You want to
go?
go first, Bill?
No, I'm good, George. Go ahead.
I just like that doing with that coffee and these donuts.
We just said George is almost part of the board. You got it automatically. Yep.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, on the corner of Wagner and Crawford, a new meter box was installed 11.5 feet from the property line, a couple of bollards near it. Again, I'm asking, did Keith Carson pay for the bollards? Why didn't he put a curb and gutter to protect the meter box and stop the erosion? I'm going to present this to you again. Again, we have rules and regulations, we have standards, or we don't. You can't selectively look the other way. That man seems to get away with more than the average flaws, let's say. Mr. Chairman, on numerous occasions I've asked and I've presented a request for public information in regards to former Councilman Jolene Gardner receiving thousands of dollars from the city. That's been before you several times. I want an answer. Mr. Chairman, I'm again reminding you that the city has yet to reimburse me for the expenditure that I incurred procuring the sewer problem at 681 Parker. That was the city's responsibility. Again, interest of 2% a month is being assessed in addition to the late fee. The amount as of February 21st, 2021 is $8,080.07. I want to remind you at the Utility Board meeting held on August 13th, 2020, you, Mr. Chairman, instructed City Clerk Jennifer Lee to send me a check. I've not received anything as of today. I want my money. I don't know what the delay is. If she has trouble writing the figures, I'll put them in for you. You just give me a signed check. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to know, and I've asked numerous times, the city notified Mount Wheeler Power that they have to move some of the power poles on Murray Street in the blocks where the new water and sewer lines are going to go in. I want to remind you, ADA, new project, federal regulation state, you have to have proper ADA access. If it's not done, I'm going to file a complaint. I'm here complaining now. You didn't do it on previous projects. Now's the time to step up to the plate. Mr. Chairman, Julie Spear, an employee of yours that dealt with licensing and billing, no longer works for the city. The city needs to conduct an audit of that position in the billings. I want to know if Julie had a bond, and does the city plan to conduct an audit for discrepancies? I brought this concern to the city council and to you folks in the past. I have not received any answers. I want to remind you that the billing for my property at 490 High Street, as well as some of my other property billings, have yet to be corrected. This is going on for years. My recent bill for 490 is now $1,408. I paid you folks in full, including the penalties. If you don't have anybody who can handle the numbers, hire it out. This is just harassment. It's selective enforcement, and it needs to stop. Other than that, your clerk needs to go. So does your treasurer. They don't know what the hell they're doing. When Jennifer was, pardon me?
Behave yourself.
I'm trying, but I'm getting tired of the harassment. I'm getting tired of the discrimination, and I want some answers. And I want some accountability. It all comes back to you folks here, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
They can't do their job, they've got to go.
Thank you for all your
Just that simple.
Very good. Any public comment? No other public comment? Next meeting, please.
Next meeting will be April 8th.
April 8th. Appreciate everybody that took time to come today, especially the chairman was on time. Thank you all. That is adjourned.
This has been a Georgetown production. George Chat just reporting.